Russian prisoners of war who can be exchanged for captured Ukrainian soldiers are held in penitentiary institution separately from other prisoners. The others are placed in special camps, as the Geneva Convention requires, and it costs Ukraine 3,000 hryvnias per month to keep each of them, the Ministry of Justice said. Prisoners of war are fed, provided with clothes and hygiene products, and representatives of the Red Cross are allowed to visit them.
We showed the maximum civility. We created conditions from the budgets that we have, that we can afford as a country at war. Such conditions cannot be equated with torture and cannot be compared to the way Ukrainian heroes are being held captive either in the territories of the so-called Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics or Russia. The conditions of holding prisoners of war must be like those of the military. The Geneva Convention obliges the state that holds prisoners of war to feed the prisoners as it feeds its armed forces. A prisoner of war is fed the same way as an officer of the Ukrainian army. Olena Vysotska, Deputy Minister of Justice of Ukraine, in a commentary for Radio Liberty.
At the same time, practically nothing is known about the detention of Ukrainian prisoners of war on Russian territory, human rights activists say. Any information about Ukrainian defenders is concealed there.
They do not confirm anything. They keep unofficially a large number of people in their pretrial detention centers. And this Russian system should have at least some framework, at least informational, to establish contact with relatives. Now it is not available at all for Ukraine as a country that wants to know information about its citizens. Plus, we don't have any consulates.
Paramedic Yulia Payevska was recently released from Russian captivity. She says that in the places where she was held, there was not even a hint of compliance with the Geneva Convention.
The conditions of maintenance are horrible. They are constantly shouting, saying that Ukraine has already fallen, that everyone has escaped.
The treatment of Ukrainian captives in the territories of the so-called Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics is even worse, human rights activists say. Torture is considered the norm there.
Vlad Buryak, a 16-year-old Ukrainian citizen, son of the head of the military civilian administration of the Zaporizhia district, was recently released. And so he was more or less safe, but he was forced to clean the torture room, and he really washed blood there every time. Accordingly, our prisoners are tortured there. Unfortunately, there is a high probability that the percentage is significant.
Those Ukrainian servicemen who managed to get out of captivity also speak of torture and cruel treatment by the Russians. This contradicts the norm of the international humanitarian law.
Ukraine condemns the illegal treatment of Ukrainian prisoners of war by the Russian Federation, in particular use of them for its own political purposes. We demand human treatment of Ukrainian prisoners of war from the Russian side. Any illegal act of inaction on the part of the detaining power is prohibited, from the statement of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine.
Currently, it is unknown the exact number of either Ukrainian or Russian prisoners of war. According to the latest data, the Ukrainian registry listed 650 people, while Russia, according to the Media Initiative for Human Rights, holds between 5,000 and 7,000 Ukrainians, both military and civilian, in captivity. Reported by Roman Smoler, Vlada Tsurkan, UATV News.